Hello, and welcome to Book Chats with Mr. Mayor. I'm going to talk about 5 new books that we have here at the library. First one is called Tight by Torrey Maldonado. And Tight tells a story about Brian, Brian lives in kind of a rough neighborhood where it's sometimes a little difficult to stay out of trouble. But Brian is a rule follower, and he always has been. He kind of lays low, keeps to himself, and he loves reading his comic books. But one day he meets Mike. And Mike had just moved to town, and he's a year older than Brian. And Mike kind of lives life on the edge a little bit. He's not afraid of getting into a little bit of trouble. And Brian is a little bit intrigued by this. And he starts hanging out more and kind of likes the rush of causing a little bit of chaos. But deep down, Brian knows maybe that's not who he really is, and maybe he's just putting on this front to try to impress Mike, and not sure he likes what he's turning out to be. But it's kind of tough to be who he knows who he should be, while also trying to be with kind of the cool kids. And it's got him wound a little, like the title says, tight. Just a good story about a kid trying to figure out who he is amidst some friend stuff. Second book that I'm going to talk to you about is a graphic novel called The Unwanted. And The Unwanted tells the story of the Syrian refugees. So in 2011, in the country of Syria, there was a civil war going on, and thousands of people were leaving Syria because it was no longer safe for them to live there. And they were fleeing Syria and going to neighboring countries. And as more and more Syrians came into their countries, a lot of those other countries and the people in those other countries started kind of resenting them and not wanting them to come because it was costing them in their countries more and more money. And by 2017, after 6 years of this, many countries wanted to turn their backs on the victims, and the refugees became the unwanted. So this book depicts moments of, horror and terror, but hope as well, because there's tons of courage and resilience illustrated by these refugees. And it's shines a light on to something that maybe you don't know a whole lot about. And by reading it in a graphic novel style, you can learn quite a bit. The next book is the new book by Gratz called Allies. Again, historical fiction. If you love it, check this one out. So June 6th, 1944, the Nazis are terrorizing Europe on their evil quest to conquer the world. The only way to stop them is the biggest, most top secret endeavor ever, with the Allied nations coming together to storm German-occupied France. Welcome to D-Day. So this story is told through different perspectives, very short chapters, and it tells, like I said, a few different people tell the story. You've got Dee, a young U.S. soldier, Samira, a French girl working as a spy. You've got James, the paratrooper, and Henry, a British medic searching for lives to save. Like I said, lots of action, dangerous missions, racing against time, risking their lives, a lot of teamwork, and all taking place in one day that changed the world. Next book, Shouting at the Rain by Lynda Mullaly Hunt. Love this chapter. She also wrote Fish in a Tree and one for the Murphys. This author just knows how to tell a great story. And this one is about Delcy, who lives in Cape Cod, and she loves watching storms. And living by the ocean, she loves watching the storms start over the ocean and bring torrents of lightning and thunder. But lately, her life seems a little bit stormy. Going into 7th grade, some of her friends are acting a little bit different, and she's just not sure of it. Her mom gave her up for adoption when she was very, very young, and she has always wondered why. And her grandma will never give her a straight answer. And then there's this new boy in town who seems to be hiding something as well. And as they form a little bit of a relationship, she wants to find out about him as well. So again, just a great story. Love this one. This one I could see on the Rebecca Cottle list next year. And then the last book I'm going to talk about is called Order of the Majestic. And if you like magic, check this one out. Joey is a very smart kid, like perfect score on the standardized test smart. And his dad wants to send him to a very prestigious private school in New York. And once he gets there, he has to take a test to see where he fits in. But he finds out that it's not a typical paper and pencil test. Instead, he has a series of magic tricks to attempt. And when he aces that one, he's transported to a parallel realm where he learns that not only is magic real, but magic is in danger of being controlled by a group of evil magicians who want it all to themselves. Lots of action, lots of magic and adventure, and a little bit of laughs and mystery along the way as well. So like I said, all of these books are available to be checked out here at the library. Hope to see you soon.